Welcome to the updated Fine-Tunes Object plugin. If you're not familiar with the original Fine-Tunes Object plugin, it was a plugin that allows you to select a mini and then be able to shift its position or orientation based on keyboard input. So it allowed you to adjust things such as this. Okay, we can see here I'm adjusting the vertical position. I can rotate. And so on and so forth. So that was the original plugin. But now we've taken it to a whole new level. Now, the plugin allows you to affect either the mini itself, i.e. creature, or auras, or effects. I'm not quite sure that there's any practical application for affecting effects, but it's there just in case. So, why is this such a breakthrough? Well, it now opens up the ability not only to adjust the position and orientation of auras, but it allows us to create wearable items, such as helmets, weapons, and so on, that can now be attached to a character. So let me demonstrate. Here I've got a character, and I have created a helmet that is a aura. So it's an object, but it is implemented as an aura, so that when I click it, it appears and attaches to the mini, just like regular auras did. Now, of course, we can see that this does not at all match our character. So now we can switch to the aura modification. We're going to use the fine-tune object plugin on our aura instead. And now if I start to play with that's that way, depending on how the character is oriented, the different rotations might not exactly match what you're expecting, but by playing with them, you can figure out what is necessary. Now we can see that this helmet seems to be a little too big. So now one of the options that we have with the improved plugin is actually to scale up and down. So I'm going to scale that. Let's try 2 levels. And now let's do our little adjustment here. Oh. There we go. Now when you're doing adjustments, by default, it's got kind of a coarse adjustment, but if you click on your caps lock while caps lock is on, it does fine adjustment. So you can see now I've switched to fine adjustment and I can get my helmet to match exactly. Okay, so now we've adjusted this helmet, and now our character is able to use that wearable item, that aura, but that same helmet, as you can see, can be placed on different characters to reuse it. Now, when this plugin only affected the creature, when the board would load, it would restore all those adjustments and there would be no problem. But those of you who are thinking about this more deeply might realize, well, unlike a creature that is either there or gone, an aura is something attached to a creature. So we can remove the aura, in this case remove the helmet, without removing the creature. And then when we put that helmet back on, we're going to get it in the wrong position again, and we're going to have to adjust it, right? So we can demonstrate that. I can take that helmet off. And now when I put that helmet back on, it's all wrong again. The new and improved fine-tune plugin has a way to compensate for that. when you set up your ideal configuration for a mini and a item, you can use the save option to teach the fine-tunes plugin that that particular mini with that particular aura uses that particular position and orientation and scaling. Now, when you do so, you're not telling it that this particular instance of this mini uses that. You're telling it any instance of this uses that. Now, at the moment, that then once you've done that save, you can use the apply adjustments, and it will reapply those anytime you remove and put that item back on. Ideally, I'd like to get that automatic, so anytime the aura is reapplied, it would automatically do the adjustments. But at the moment, when I tried that, there were some difficulties with that. So for the moment, it is manual. So let me demonstrate. I'm going to get remove the helmet off of this guy. Okay, so now these two characters, you can see they're different sizes. So the helmets for them would be in different positions. But I can remove those helmets. Okay, and now when they put those helmets back on, yes, initially they're going to be totally wrong. But once we've got the helmets put back on, we can hit that adjustment combination, and magic, they're replaced back in the ideal position and orientation that was saved earlier. And to prove that it is not mini specific, it is the type of mini, I can even go here, pull out another orc. Okay, so this orc has never saved the position of the helmet, but because we've already saved the position of the helmet for this type of orc, as long as I pull out the same orc, same type of mini, when I apply the helmet and hit our adjustments, it's going to apply the adjustments to that orc also, because it knows that this type of mini with this type of helmet has that orientation and position. So what does that mean? That means now we can create minis such as this one that have, for example, a free hand, and we can make an assortment of different weapons, like a sword, mace, whatever. And then we can use this concept to add that to the character and reuse those exact same weapons with a whole bunch of different characters, not have to make a helmet specific for each character. Without the fine-tune plugin, this was still possible to use an aura to add it to the mini, but it would have meant that each mini would have to have a separate helmet, because each of those minis have the head in a slightly different place, and so the aura would have to adjust for that. With the fine-tune plugin, we don't need that, because we can just take that reusable piece of armor or weapon or whatever and apply it to the character, manually adjust the position, but then save it so that future uses of that is going to know where to put it. So that's it. That's the new and improved Fine-Tune Objects plugin. And that's about it. I know these videos don't have great production quality, but they do have a lot of useful information. So please, appease the YouTube algorithm goddess by casting the subscribe spell and then blasting your Eldritch Blast at the like button. It'll really help me out.